Frank. This morning, I had one of those moments that was both a little funny and a little worrying. I walked into the kitchen and then just stood there, completely forgetting why I went in. I looked around, tried to remember, and finally had to go back to the living room to rewind what I'd been doing before. Frank, is this a sign that my memory is getting worse?
Helen, that sounds very familiar. Many people over 60 have those blank mind moments, walking into a room and forgetting why, or mid-sentence to suddenly losing track of what they were going to say. The good news is, it's not always a sign of dementia. Sometimes it's simply because our brains are juggling too many things at once, or we haven't had enough sleep, enough water, or just haven't warmed up properly for the day.
So I don't need to panic?
Exactly. And here's the even better news. You don't need big changes or complicated routines to keep your memory sharp and your mind clear. Just a few small, simple, and science-backed habits each day can help protect your brain health for years to come.
Well, now I really want to hear them. And I'm sure our listeners do too. Frank, I've heard a lot of people say that just walking outside in the morning can boost memory and mood. But honestly, I don't quite understand why. How is 10 minutes outdoors any different from walking inside?
That's a great question, Helen. Many people think walking anywhere is the same, but it's really not. When you go outside in the morning, especially within the first 1-2 hours after waking, your body gets natural sunlight, and that light works like a wake-up call for your brain and your whole body. Morning sunlight helps synchronize your circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock. It tells your brain exactly when to be alert and when to rest. When that rhythm is steady, your memory, focus, and even mood can all improve.
So just standing outside can be good for the brain?
Yes, but if you pair that with 10 minutes of light walking, the benefits double. Walking gets your heart pumping, increases blood flow and oxygen to the brain. That helps nourish your brain cells and clear out waste more efficiently. Plus, early morning light boosts serotonin production, a brain chemical that helps you feel happy and calm. That serotonin later converts into melatonin at night, helping you sleep better.
Sounds like a positive loop. Morning walk, better mood, better sleep, more alert the next day.
Exactly. And I've seen it work in real life. Not long ago, I had a patient named Samuel, 68 years old. He came to me because he often misplaced his keys, lost his train of thought mid-sentence, and had chronic insomnia. Instead of prescribing sleeping pills or vitamins right away, I suggested something simple. Every morning, right after brushing his teeth, go outside and take a gentle 10-15-minute walk around his yard or down the street.
And what happened, Frank?
Within the first 3 weeks, Samuel reported sleeping more soundly and waking up less during the night. After about 2 months, his short-term memory noticeably improved. He could remember where he'd put things and keep track of appointments without writing everything down.
That's amazing. So he didn't change anything else, just the morning walk?
That's right. His diet and lifestyle stayed the same. He only added that one morning habit, and it shows that brain health doesn't always require complicated steps. Sometimes it's about giving your brain the basic conditions it needs to function well.
But Frank, what about people who are busy or when the weather's bad? Is there a backup plan?
If you can't go outside, stand near a window with the curtains open to get natural light. You can stretch, do a few movements, or walk around indoors. But whenever possible, step outside. Fresh air and natural sounds also help lower stress and refresh your mind.
I think I'll try it tomorrow morning, and maybe invite a few neighbors to join me for a chat while we walk.
Perfect, Helen. That adds a social benefit too. Something vital for brain health. Morning walks aren't just about movement. They're also a chance to connect, laugh, and feel part of a community.
That makes perfect sense, and I think our listeners could start this as soon as tomorrow morning.
Exactly. Here's my little challenge. Tomorrow morning, step outside right after you wake up, just 10 minutes, and you'll notice a difference.
Well then, let's see what the next tip is. I'm curious already. Frank, I'll be honest, I'm not really a breakfast person. If I do eat, it's usually a pastry with coffee, or sometimes I skip it altogether. I've always thought as long as I have a full lunch, I'd be fine.
Helen, that's a habit many people share, and it could be the reason you sometimes feel sluggish or unfocused in the morning. Breakfast is like the day's first fuel for your brain and body. If you only give it sugar and refined carbs, your brain gets a short burst of energy, but then crashes quickly.
So that mid-morning slump around 10 a.m., feeling hungry and tired, that's from my breakfast.
Exactly. What your brain needs is steady energy, and protein is the key. Protein not only supports muscle strength, it provides amino acids your brain uses to make neurotransmitters, the messengers that help brain cells communicate. For example, the amino acid tryptophan helps your body produce serotonin for mood and sleep. Tyrosine helps create dopamine and norepinephrine for alertness and focus. Without these building blocks, your brain won't run as smoothly.
So my all-sugar breakfast really isn't doing my memory or clarity any favors.
Not at all. A high-sugar, low-protein breakfast spikes your blood sugar, then drops it fast, leading to that crash or trouble focusing. Protein keeps blood sugar steady and fuels your brain evenly through the morning.
Then what should I eat instead of pastries?
A protein-rich breakfast doesn't have to be complicated. Try a boiled egg, a cup of Greek yogurt, and a handful of berries like blueberries or strawberries. You'll get high-quality protein plus fiber and antioxidants for your brain.
That does sound simple, but I'm worried it'll take too much time in the morning.
It really only takes about 5 minutes. Boil eggs the night before and keep them in the fridge. In the morning, just grab one, add yogurt and fruit, and you're done. No complicated cooking or extra dishes.
And for people who don't like eggs or yogurt?
There are plenty of options. Whole grain toast with peanut butter, a protein smoothie with banana and almond milk, or steamed tofu with vegetables. The important thing is to aim for at least 15-20 grams of protein at breakfast.
I guess that's not just good for the brain. It helps keep muscles strong too, right?
Absolutely. After 60, we lose muscle faster, and strong muscles help blood flow to the brain. So a protein-rich breakfast is a 2-for-1 deal. Good for both mind and body.
I remember you once mentioned a patient who improved both memory and energy just by changing breakfast.
Yes, Evelyn, 72. She used to have pastries and coffee every morning. When she switched to eggs, yogurt, and fruit, she no longer had that mid-morning crash and could finish her crossword puzzles without losing focus.
That's inspiring. I think I'll try swapping my pastry for a boiled egg and some berries.
Great choice, Helen. Here's your first step. Swap part of your morning carbs for protein. You'll notice a difference in just a few days.
I'll remember that. So, what's our next tip, Frank? Frank, I often hear people say, the more water you drink, the better. And some even insist you need 3-10-4 liters a day to be healthy. Is that really true?
Helen, that's a common belief, but it's not entirely accurate. Water is essential for your brain and body, but more is better isn't always the right approach. Even mild dehydration, just a 1-2% drop in your body's water level, can affect your focus, short-term memory, and mood. Since about 75% of the brain is water, even a small shortage can slow down brain function.
So even feeling just a little thirsty can already affect my memory?
Exactly. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already mildly dehydrated. This slightly reduces blood flow to the brain, making you feel sluggish or a bit foggy. However, drinking too much water isn't good either. If you drink more than your kidneys can handle, the sodium in your blood can become too diluted, leading to an electrolyte imbalance. In severe cases, this can cause dizziness, nausea, and even be life-threatening.
I never thought drinking water could be harmful.
It's rare, but it can happen. For most adults, a good target is about 6-8 cups of water a day, around 1.52 liters, including water from foods and other drinks.
And when you say cup, do you mean a small one or a big one?
I'm talking about a standard 8-ounce cup, about 240 milliliters. And you don't need to drink it all at once. It's best to spread your water intake evenly throughout the day.
Does tea or coffee count toward that total?
In moderation, yes, but coffee and black tea are mild diuretics, so too much can cause you to lose more water. I recommend prioritizing plain water and mild herbal teas, like chamomile or peppermint.
Do I need electrolyte drinks?
Not if your diet is balanced and you're not sweating heavily from exercise or extreme heat. Your body can regulate electrolytes naturally through food.
I often forget to drink until my throat feels dry. Any tricks to help me remember, Frank?
Keep it simple. Place a glass of water somewhere you'll see it often. On your desk, next to the couch, or by your bed. You can also use a water bottle with markings to track how much you drink.
That makes sense. I could also set a gentle reminder on my phone every 2 hours.
Perfect, Helen. The key is to keep your body steadily hydrated, especially in hot weather, during exercise, or when taking medications that increase urination. And here's my reminder, keep a glass of water within arm's reach. That small habit can help your brain run smoothly all day.
Thanks, Frank. I think I'll start by keeping a water bottle next to my reading chair. So, what's our next tip? Frank, I've noticed that since retiring, I rarely try new things. Most of my time is spent reading the paper or watching TV. Could that be slowing my mind down?
Helen, you've touched on something very important. The brain is like a muscle. If you don't challenge it, it gets weaker. To keep it strong, you need regular workouts that stimulate your mind. When you learn or do something new, your brain forms new neural connections, like creating extra pathways in the forest of your memory. This process is called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and change.
So I should be doing daily brain exercises, like working out for my mind?
Exactly. And the good news is, these exercises don't have to be boring. You could do a crossword, play Sudoku, learn a new dance, listen to a podcast on a topic you know nothing about, or even learn to play a musical instrument.
That reminds me. Last year, I tried learning the ukulele. At first, my fingers hurt and I had to stare at the chords, but after a few weeks, I could remember the notes and play more smoothly.
Wonderful. When you play an instrument, you're not just moving your fingers, you're also listening, watching, and processing sound all at once. That's a full workout for your brain.
I honestly thought I was just picking up a new hobby. I didn't realize it was good for my brain.
And that's the beauty of fun activities. They release dopamine, which boosts memory and keeps you motivated to keep learning.
For people who aren't into music, are there simpler activities that can still help?
Plenty. You could try solving a crossword each morning, learning a few words in a new language, cooking a new recipe, or rearranging a room in a creative way. The key is to keep it fresh and gently challenging.
What do you mean by gently challenging, Frank?
Something not so hard that you give up, but not so easy you can do it on autopilot. Your brain grows when you have to focus and think to complete a task.
I think I'll go back to my ukulele, or maybe try learning a new dance online.
Great idea. I recommend spending just 5-15 minutes a day on it. Short, consistent practice has a bigger impact than doing a lot at once and then skipping days.
Just like exercising the body.
Exactly. And here's my challenge to our listeners. Today, try a 5-minute brain game. It could be a crossword puzzle, recalling the names of 5 childhood friends, or learning one phrase in another language.
That sounds fun. I'll do it right after we finish recording.
Perfect, Helen. And share how it goes. Sometimes just one new activity a day is enough to keep your brain sharp and agile.
Then let's see what surprising tip we have next. Frank, I want to ask something a bit personal. I've been living alone for almost 10 years now. I feel fine, but sometimes I wonder, could this be hurting my memory or brain health?
Helen, that's a very important question. Research shows that people who maintain positive social connections have a significantly lower risk of dementia. On the other hand, long-term isolation can raise that risk by as much as 50%.
So even if I eat well and exercise, a lack of social connection could still harm my brain?
Exactly. Social interaction is like a special workout for the brain. When you talk, listen, and respond, your brain is processing language, emotions, and memory all at once. That helps keep vital neural networks strong.
So for someone living alone, how can I make up for that?
There are many simple ways. Call a friend or family member, join a club, take a class, or even just chat with neighbors when you see them outside.
I often worry about bothering people.
Helen, don't think that way. Most people enjoy hearing from someone they care about. In fact, you're bringing joy to them, and that joy also benefits you.
Do you have a real-life example?
I do. I once had a patient named Linda, 74. After her husband passed, she became withdrawn and rarely went out. Her memory started to decline. I encouraged her to join a community art class once a week and call at least one old friend. After 6 months, Linda not only felt happier, she also noticed her memory had improved. She said that remembering people's names and past conversations was like exercise for her brain.
I think I've noticed that too. Every time I have lunch with my old friends, I laugh more and feel lighter the rest of the day.
Exactly, Helen. Laughing, sharing, and feeling connected lowers stress hormones, improves blood flow, and in turn supports brain health.
So I don't need to join big events?
Right. Small but regular connections are enough. Greet your neighbor on a walk, chat with the cashier at the grocery store, or send a quick text to check in on someone.
That doesn't sound too hard. I think I'll start by calling a friend I haven't spoken to in a while.
Perfect. And here's a micro CTA for everyone listening. Schedule a call with a friend this week. Even 5 minutes of positive connection can brighten your whole day.
I'll do that this afternoon, and I think our listeners could start with small actions like that too.
Exactly. Remember, social connection isn't just heartwarming, it's brain protective.
So Frank, is the next tip the one about sleep you mentioned earlier? Frank, lately I've been tossing and turning for hours before I can fall asleep. Some nights I'm awake until 2 or 3 a.m., and in the morning my head feels heavy and my memory is fuzzy.
Helen, that's not surprising. Sleep isn't just for rest. It's also when your brain cleans up waste products, including beta amyloid, a protein linked to Alzheimer's when it builds up too much. During deep sleep, especially in the slow wave stage, the brain's lymphatic system works like a night shift cleaning crew, clearing out the debris that builds up during the day.
So getting enough good quality sleep is even more important than I thought.
Exactly. Poor sleep or shallow sleep reduces your ability to focus, process information, and remember things the very next day. Over time, it can have lasting effects on brain health.
I've tried counting sheep, drinking chamomile tea, but sometimes I still can't fall asleep. Any practical tips?
Yes, first, turn off electronic devices at least 1 hour before bed. The blue light from phones, computers, and TVs suppresses melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. Second, keep your bedroom dark and cool. The ideal temperature is around 65-68 degrees, 18-20 degrees Celsius. A room that's too bright or too warm makes it harder for your brain to enter deep sleep.
I usually leave a nightlight on because I'm afraid of the dark. Does that matter?
It can. Even dim light signals to your brain that it's not yet time for deep sleep. If you need a nightlight, choose a soft amber or warm yellow light and place it out of direct view.
What about noise? I live near a busy road and sometimes the traffic keeps me up.
You can use a white noise machine or a fan to mask sudden sounds. Steady, gentle background noise helps prevent your brain from being startled awake.
I remember you once said sleep is connected to long-term memory.
That's right. Sleep is when your brain transfers information from short-term to long-term memory. If your sleep is poor, that process is disrupted, making it harder to recall what you've learned or experienced.
So good sleep both cleans the brain and stores memories more effectively.
Exactly. And the good news is, you can improve your sleep with small, consistent changes each night.
Where should I start?
Start with something simple. Tonight, try turning off the lights 15 minutes earlier than usual. Over time, you'll find it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep.
That sounds easy enough. I'll try it tonight and report back in our next episode.
Perfect, Helen. Quality sleep is the foundation for keeping your memory sharp, your mood steady, and your overall health strong as we age. Helen, our final but equally important tip: eat plenty of antioxidant-rich foods. These are your brain's natural shield against damage from free radicals.
What exactly are free radicals, Frank? I've heard of them but never really understood.
Free radicals are unstable molecules produced when your body processes food or when you're exposed to pollution, UV rays, or stress. They can damage cells, including brain cells. When too many free radicals build up, they cause something called oxidative stress, which is linked to premature aging and brain diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
And antioxidants help prevent that?
Exactly. Antioxidants act like heroes, neutralizing free radicals before they can do harm, helping brain cells stay healthy and function well for longer.
So which foods are rich in antioxidants that I should eat every day?
There are many, but 3 groups I want to highlight are berries like blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries, dark leafy greens like kale and spinach, and nuts like walnuts and almonds. Blueberries are especially rich in anthocyanins, an antioxidant compound that improves communication between brain cells and supports memory. Kale and spinach provide lutein, zeaxanthin, and vitamin C, protecting your eyes and reducing brain inflammation. Walnuts are packed with omega-3s and polyphenols, which help lower inflammation and improve blood flow to the brain.
Sounds delicious and healthy. I actually have a favorite smoothie: frozen blueberries, a handful of kale, a banana, and some almond milk all blended together.
That's an excellent choice, Helen. You're combining multiple antioxidant sources with healthy fats in one meal.
But Frank, does eating them once make a difference right away?
Antioxidants don't work like painkillers. You won't notice an immediate effect. But eaten daily, they build up long-term benefits that protect your brain and body for years.
So the key is consistency.
Exactly. And you don't have to eat a lot of just one type. Variety is important so you get different kinds of antioxidants. Here's my takeaway for everyone. Tomorrow, add one type of berry to your meal. Maybe a few blueberries with breakfast or some strawberries for dessert after lunch.
Simple and tasty. I'll add blueberries to my yogurt tomorrow morning.
perfect, Helen. When you nourish your brain with the right foods and combine that with other healthy habits, you can keep your mind sharp and your body strong for years to come.
Frank, today we've shared 7 simple yet powerful tips to keep our minds sharp. Let me recap. A 10-minute walk outside each morning, a protein-rich breakfast, drinking enough, but not too much, water, enjoying a fun brain activity daily, maintaining quality social connections, getting enough deep sleep, and finally eating plenty of antioxidant-rich foods.
That's a perfect summary, Helen. And I want to emphasize that the real difference comes not from how complicated these tips are, but from consistency. Doing them steadily, day after day, is the key to long-term brain health.
I like how you put it. It's not about changing your entire life, just taking small but steady steps.
Exactly. Each small step is like laying a brick, and over time, you're building a strong house for your memory and mental clarity.
So that means anyone can start today, no matter their age or current health.
Absolutely. You don't need special equipment or strict diets, just smart, consistent choices each day.
I think that's a relief for many listeners, to know that protecting our memory doesn't require a massive, exhausting overhaul.
And to turn knowledge into action, I want to challenge everyone listening. Choose one of the 7 tips from today's episode and follow it every day for the next 7 days. Then, share your experience with us.
I'd love to hear those success stories, no matter how small. Who knows? You might inspire someone else to start their own journey of caring for their memory.
Remember, your brain is priceless. Protecting it isn't a job for someday. It starts today.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you to everyone who joined us for today's episode. Wishing you a week full of energy and mental clarity.
See you next time on the Senior Health Podcast, where we'll continue exploring ways to live healthy and happy at every age.